3 Hawaii doctors are entering a first-of-its-kind family medicine residency program in Leeward, Oahu. Leanne Escocia, Bong Kim, and Pauline Ton were recently recognized with a white coat ceremony at Waianae Coast Comprehensive Health Center. They'll be working out at the James and Abigail Campbell Clinic in Nanakuli. Right now, Hawaii has a shortage of nearly 800 full-time physicians.
We're trying to attract is a resident who knows that they want to serve underserved communities from a community health center.
Escocia, Kim, and Ton will be serving Leeward, Oahu until at least 2028.